Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on the Survival Minecraft series. And as you can see from the time lapse that you guys just witnessed, we've got some work done here by the riverbank here at River's Edge. And I'm super excited about it. And it's very simple, but it is a pivotal step and something that I have been kind of putting off because I didn't know exactly how I was going to go about it. So let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look, and I can kind of walk you through my vision here because it is not quite done completely yet. Okay, but yeah, here we have the bank and some of the little market stalls, and they're all unique shapes and colors and sizes, and everything about them is different. I don't love this one, but you know, it's good enough. And this little guy over here. But I went ahead and did a ton of podzol harvesting, and I was gonna just sprinkle it in, but then I figured it kind of would look better overall, just kind of lining the entire riverbank. Kind of looks like a little bit darker where the water is kind of seeping in, and I'm gonna adjust it a little bit, maybe not have it come up this little mountain quite so far. But that's all stuff I'm gonna have to figure out. But let me know if you guys like it. I think it's better than just straight up red sand overall, and it's a area that's kind of been walked on quite a bit and everything like that. So and I'm gonna add some different plants and everything, and obviously texture up with some barrel piles and cauldrons and stuff like that to really bring this thing to life. Hopefully that ends up being in this video. But I'm very happy with getting some sort of progress down here and starting to expand this way for once. And if you didn't see in the last video, I did put together this post office, and I promise all of you who commented, you will be getting a mailbox. So stay tuned for that. You want to see your name be permanently cemented here on the server. But as we take a walk through town, things are really starting to shape up. And what I think I'm gonna do in this video is honestly, keep working down there by the riverbank, but also try to clean up the area a little bit. Start to tie things in just a little bit more than they already are, because right now I've kind of got, other than the paths, they're kind of just buildings placed on the ground. So I want to make this place kind of come to life just a little bit and start to feel like people may actually be living here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, and I'll check back in once I've got a little bit more progress for you guys to check in on. All right, everybody, welcome back. I have done a little bit of work. As you can see, we've got these nice little lampposts going on over here. And yes, the first stone variant used in the entire town. We've got some cobbled deep slate walls, actually, as the bases. I just felt like they were kind of necessary to not just be wooden posts. But I put these across every once in a while, and I think they add a whole lot to the town, and it makes it feel a lot better. I also did some work down at the little ports down here, the little shops. I just added in some barrels, some pots, and chests and different things. Not a ton of work. I'm not sure if I showed you this, but I used the podzol to kind of line the edge. I'm pretty sure I did. Regardless, I'm really liking how it's starting to shape up. Again, nothing here is done, and if you haven't seen Captain Palm's most recent video, we had a little bit of a chat for about 30 minutes or so, and there was the quote that just sticks out to both of us, that everything we do is always just 90% done and never completed. So that definitely rings true over here. But one thing that I wanted to show you, and it's kind of my favorite part of the work I've done, if you can see over here, we've got a little path going over here, and we've got some new developments. We have a archery range that I've gone ahead and put in. So essentially we've got some arrows, a couple of bows, and they're at 10 blocks, 20 blocks, and 30 blocks. And this is kind of funny, but whenever you hit them, it makes the trapdoors come out. But yeah, no, I really like this area. You know, as I was building it and digging out the area, I kind of felt like I wasn't gonna like how it looked, but I think it's a nice little addition back here behind the jail and the saloon that fills the space, because it wasn't really set up for many buildings to go over here just due to how it's all laid out. So I think it turned out really nicely, and it gives a reason for this saloon to kind of be pointed right here to the corner, as it is now an actual corner and not just along the side. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. So I do believe I'm still going to be working on some additional details here in this video. So definitely don't click off, because we have a lot more to do. Definitely started chipping away at some of this additional, you know, landscaping and whatnot, because it is beginning to be an eyesore. And now that we have reason to come back here, I don't want all this to be showing. Like, it just looks like garbage. So after I show you guys what good shot I am, I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on finishing some other stuff up. So, and would you look at that? Sharpshooter. All right, I'll catch you guys as soon as I get some additional details done. After a ton of work being done here in the western town, I have some progress to show you guys. So I wanted to hop on the live camera and get right into it, and you can already see part of it here. We've done a ton of work adding in some dirt and coarse dirt trim to all the roads, just to make it feel a little bit more used, a little bit more worn down. And I'm not fully sold on the method that I used, which was kind of just lining all of it. I want to make it a little bit more sporadic, but overall I think it looks really nice. And here you can see all the street lamps at night, and I tried to eliminate most of the lanterns just sitting on the ground, because obviously that's not going to look good. So the problem we have in the town so far has been just monsters spawning. So hopefully we're starting to inch closer to eliminating that. And let me do a little bit of cleanup here, because you know, we don't need these getting, you know, lost in the night. But overall, I think it's starting to look better. Now, I think all the dirt and everything looks best from ground level, how you're actually going to play the game and experience it. You know, flying above, it looks a little bit weirder. I wouldn't say weird, even just I'm not used to it yet, so probably have to see what Captain Palms thinks once he gets a chance to hop on later in the weekend, and see if he thinks it's been an improvement. And I certainly am going to keep most of it if I do not keep it all, because I like how it looks, and I certainly feel like I could tweak it in certain spots, but wanted to at least get it down to see how I liked it. So I will take a quick sleep. I don't think there's been much other than that has been updated since I last saw you, but let me take a quick nap and talk to you in the morning. Rise and shine, we are back and awake, and now we can kind of see everything. Let's take a look from above. So when we go all the way up here and we're looking down, you can see the town starting to take shape, and honestly, I'm beginning to feel a little bit more in love with it. I honestly really love what I did here with the podzol and having the dirt kind of, you know, merged in here. I love that. let's just go ahead and patch that up while we're here. But no, I'm starting to feel like it feels alive, and that was what it's been missing for the entirety of this project, in my personal opinion. And yeah, things are starting to feel right. Now, I certainly want something over here. Thought about maybe just like a mailbox or something like that. Um, of course, my reference for the post office had like a little overhang on that side for like the mail, like a horse or whatever. So I may put one over here, just have like a little mule or something to carry the mail to wherever it needs to be going. And yeah, those are just a couple of other little things that I think I need to add. I made all this dirt. It used to be just red sand, and honestly, I think it looks cool. Like these little circle patches. Over here I have this one, and I'm not too sure about it. I mean, I thought I could put like a pile of something or other to, kind of fill the space. But then I thought, well, then it'd be blocking the jail. And since the jail isn't like a store or anything selling anything, it kind of makes no sense to have storage outside. So that's a work in progress. But as we go over here, let's go check out the archery range once again. I added some cacti, and I think the area looks nice. It was a much needed filler for over in this space, because once, before this it was just wide open, and I knew I wanted one of these. I just didn't know where to put it, and I think tucking it back behind these buildings to kind of fill that space kind of made sense to me. And some may ask, why would you put an archery range directly behind a bank? Well, in the West, they kind of just did things how they wanted. They weren't as worried about safety and things that made sense. And I figured, why not have this, if any crimes are committed back here, they can be taken straight in the back door of the jail and thrown in cell. But hopefully we don't get any drunken, saloon visitors coming over here and shooting people's eyes out. But overall, I think that's probably where I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. There wasn't a core build that was taking place other than, I guess, the archery range. And I know I didn't show you a ton of that process, but overall, a ton of progress was made here today. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next. I have some big plans for some more core buildings here in the town, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.